Hello and welcome to the Carbitrage podcast, episode 111. That's all ones.
Yes. Oh my God, that's a bunch of ones.
It is.
You know what else is all ones? The Mercedes 111 concept car.
That is an odd segue.
But anyway, it's not a segue. It's just me saying something.
Do you know what else is odd? I'm looking at a Bricklin over your shoulder right now.
Yeah, parked next to a bunch of DeLoreans. That's my favorite part.
And then I see Kurt, the E90, next to it as well. So
That's pretty funny.
So yeah, we're at the garage recording pretty normal, but yeah, we're at Cars and Caves.
Yep.
And this show is getting huge.
Yeah, I know.
This
Yeah.
is like Cars and Coffee in its heyday big today.
Yeah, it's really big. Like it was a problem for me to park. That's
Yeah,
what took
it
me
was-
so long.
I had to move one of my cars to get Scott in here.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it's
So,
insane. But no, it's a good thing.
It's a great
'cause,
thing. Yep.
You know, it just goes to show that location is more important than brand.
And honestly, these shows benefit charities, tangible charities.
Yeah.
Cars and Coffee does not.
Yes, it's true.
So I mean, this month it's Special Olympics of Minnesota, which is a
fun.
great organization.
That's great, yeah.
They do have a silent auction today too, which I probably won't have time to hit because we're kind of on a schedule, unfortunately, due to my ridiculous schedule.
Oh yeah, well no, we've been like the last 2 weeks have just been insane. 'Cause
Yeah.
Like last week we had Back to the 50s, and you had all your crap all
Yep.
week.
And
so,
we'll go over all that in
Yeah.
the episode here, but yeah.
anyway,
it's-
we should let's talk about Patreon real quick, and then we're
Absolutely.
gonna get into our actual topics.
So, Carbitrage, as you guys all know, you've been listening hopefully a long time. Thank you. If not, if you're first listening today,
Welcome.
thank you. Thank you for listening. Welcome.
you have 110 hours of me being your wife. Actually, probably more, because usually it's like an hour and 5 minutes. So
Yeah, you can. There's a lot of just really disparaging terribleness from our backlog that you can go. But anyway, we do not run ads on anything, YouTube, SoundCloud, anything like that. And there's a fair bit of upfront equipment cost and hosting costs. So we do have a Patreon page if you do want to help us out, just sort of cover that. It's patreon.com/Carbitrage, Carbitrage. We have 2 levels, both of which are very, very minimal. We have a $1.50 a month level just for some beer offset, and then we have a
Yes.
$5 contribution as well. So if you want to check us out on Patreon, we would strongly encourage that. But if you don't, we will keep right on doing the show anyway. So
exactly.
all right,
yes.
let's move right.
We are tools for your entertainment.
Absolutely. Yeah, certainly no pressure, but we would appreciate it.
Yes.
All right, so I want to talk about the Toyota Avalon.
Okay.
Yeah. You didn't think that was going to be the first topic, did you?
Now, that's really weird.
I was actually test driving a Fiat 124 yesterday, and I was behind a brand new Avalon, and it had like a really cool progressive LED blinker.
Yeah, they do that now. Yeah,
pretty
because the whatever Lexus version is based off that has
Right.
that.
But it doesn't do the Audi thing where it has the progressive and the actual blinker. This is just a progressive one,
Just
which
a-
I'm surprised they're allowed to do with the DOT. But I think how they got through it is it comes on fully, and then it fades out to the outer edge.
Oh, yeah,
instead
probably.
of the Audi way. But anyway, Toyota built an Avalon drift car.
Why is Toyota building drift cars out of their not sports cars?
And also front-wheel drive cars.
Yeah, because they have a Corolla and now they have an Avalon.
I don't
but
know.
Meanwhile, Toyota also makes the 8.6 and the Supra
Right, which are
and the Tacoma.
awesome rear-wheel drive platforms.
Yeah, Toyota shouldn't be. I really, yeah. Why are they doing
But
this?
anyway, the whole reason I'm bringing this up is because Toyota, in order to do this with a front-wheel drive car, needed to put in a handbrake. These cars came with an electric parking
One second.
brake.
Pause. That front grille, I forgot about that, and I realized that's even more preposterous than the spindle grille that they put
On
on.
like the IS and
yeah,
stuff.
the Predator face.
Yeah.
Like, because this is a car for Grandpa.
It is.
And now Grandpa's car has a 4-foot by 2-foot grille with vents on the sides.
And how much of that grill mesh do you think is actually open, permeable?
Oh, like none.
I bet it's like 10%.
I bet the entire center of that, like the center, like 6 inches, is just a bumper bar.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because that's I've noticed all these. Like, the giant grill is the new like stupid vents on your like rear bumper.
Yes.
It's just it does nothing,
Nope.
and it just makes your car look busy.
Yep. I mean, there are uglier things for sale, but like.
No, this one, yeah, this is not the worst one.
But anyway, yeah. So front-wheel drive drift car. These cars, they do have a parking brake because it's a mandate.
Randy's in the back losing his mind.
But it's an electric. It's an electric parking brake.
yeah,
You know, one of those terrible, stupid things with the electric calipers.
yeah.
So they put a hydraulic handbrake in this car in the cup holder because that was the only area in the interior they could put one.
What,
I wonder if they have
do
a
we have
photo
a
of it.
picture of that or? Oh no, you'd have to watch a video for it. I'm not trying to watch a video.
Well, I'll leave it playing for the people watching the podcast. But yeah. We're
Oh,
not.
they had King Gucci driving it too. King Gucci could totally just like drive
Anyway,
it.
at least Toyota's doing just weird stuff. I mean, this isn't even like a GR Avalon.
It's just a normal.
It's just an Avalon that they decided to put a parking brake in.
with King Gucci driving it.
Right? 2020
And
TRD
do they still
Avalon.
make that front wheel drive?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's still front wheel drive. So
I feel like you could probably do that with a electric parking brake.
yeah, but the response time is not like great. You could.
Yeah, you totally could. Yeah, because I know allegedly I may or may not have drifted around a few Outback 3.6Rs. Maybe when I was working at Maury's. I don't know.
I'm sure the center diff loved you. Yeah.
I,
anyway,
I didn't do that, so I wouldn't know.
that would that would have been wrong and bad, and we would never.
Yeah, no, a
break
good employee wouldn't do that.
No, of course not. But anyway, I don't. Again, there you go. There. So it's in the cup
Oh,
holder,
wow, yeah, look at that.
right? So it's.
That's probably was really easy to do because
Probably.
you just block off the rear brake circuits, and then just run the two circuits up to the front, and then the rear you would just pull on the parking brake and put another master cylinder in
And
there.
I'm sure they had to pull the ABS fuse because I'm guessing it doesn't have a defeatable traction or stability control system from the factory because it's a grandpa car.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, well, I don't know. I have faith in Toyota. I have more
not
faith.
driven an Avalon, but
No, I've not either because I'm not an octogenarian. So.
8-speed automatic through the front wheels.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I thought it was funny. They put a hydro in an Avalon and drifted it for reasons. So
That's really goofy. So I want to talk about something that's not front wheel drive, and that's literally
you.
anything from the 1950s.
okay.
Because I went to back to the 50s last
that's-
weekend.
That's a big show.
It is potentially the least photogenic car show I've ever been to in my life.
What do you mean?
Like everything is a bright color. It's full of fat people on rascals. Like every cool car is immediately followed by something like it's still about like 50% hot rods that were built right when these people retired in like 1997.
Yep.
So it's like it's like pastel yellow paint with like
Is it
pink.
faded?
No, they're
Oh, okay.
flawless condition.
Okay.
Like pink and blue, like splash, like pinstripe. And then some like Boyd Coddington wheels and like an LT1 swap.
And like,
that was-
impractically small side view mirrors.
yeah, and like an LT1 swap. And
Yep.
then you look inside and it's got some like crazy like handmade leather interior with like an AutoZone CD player. It was like peak technology. Like this
Yep.
car was the coolest thing in the world in 1997.
Yep.
And now it's not. However, so
Now it's garbage.
but basically, a lot of these cars, as these people have been kind of dying off, and you have the next generation that kind of have been coming back to the 50s, I've noticed that there's a trend where half the people are going for traditional hot rod style, so rat rods and, the white wall tires and narrow, tall drag slicks and
Yeah.
everything.
Pie cutters and all that.
Yeah, pie cutters and things like that. And the other half is only trying to, like, build off, like, the old man look that they have now, but they're like trying to modernize it, so they're putting like LEDs on them and stuff. And it's like there should be a rule where LEDs do not belong on anything that was made before the LED existed.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah, because
I'd be okay with that.
I was trying to think of something from the 70s, really.
My only exception is there are companies that engineer, like for the 2002, they're an engineered full replacement, and they actually build in circuitry to fade the LEDs on and
can't
off.
tell.
So you can't tell it's an LED.
If I can tell you have an LED, if I was a car show judge, I'm going to be judging 2 car shows.
wow,
So,
check you out.
This weekend. So if I come across anything from prior to 1979 that's got an LED in it, I can tell it's got an LED
If I
in
had a
it.
vehicle being judged by you at a show, I would just go home. Because I'm like, Ryan's going to find something that's just like totally wrong.
I am, but I'm going to do that with everybody.
Right.
That's what makes me a good car show judge.
Okay.
Because I will do that, like, I'm across the board.
You are fastidious, I
Yeah.
will say.
Yeah, across the board. Like, I'm not going to, like, for you, like, your Ferrari, I would not judge that higher than somebody else's Ferrari. Because I know what the underside looks like.
It looks good.
And I would totally dock you points on the front bumper.
Go look under any 355. They'll be
I
worse
know.
than mine.
But I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thing. It's like,
It can see fiberglass.
but yeah. So anyway, back to the 50s. Yeah, they've been having this like thing where like a lot of younger people have been coming through, and some of them are like Kyles that put LEDs on their hand-me-down Edsel.
Did you see any Monster Energy stickers?
One truck.
Oh,
It was like a international harvester pickup from like the
course it was.
50s.
Of course it was.
And it was lifted with a big Monster Energy sticker in the back. And
And we should reiterate for the people that are listening out of state, Back to the 50s is a monumentally huge pre-1965 car show.
I did the math on it. I think it was, I did this like over a week ago now, so forgive me if I'm wrong. I think it's 1/20th of the entire city of St. Paul is one car show.
Yeah. I think
Because that's how
about right.
big the state fairgrounds are, and they fill it.
It takes 2 or 3 solid days to see everything there.
All right, so the day I usually go, my favorite day is Friday night after work.
That was the day I meant to go. It was the only day my admission was valid for, which I didn't bother to check until Saturday. Oops.
Well, I went Friday night after work, and that's perfect because most of the people have gone. All the really cool cars are there. All the Kyles with their Monster Energy logos, they're down at the Nook like getting beer. They're not in the car show.
The Nook.
The Nook is delicious.
That's fabulous.
Jana actually ate a hamburger for the first time, like voluntarily.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, the Nook's pretty good. So
the cutie Lucy's. But all right, so the other thing I want to talk about, I'm probably gonna end up making an article on the website about Back to the 50s and everything.
Okay.
It's actually, I think it is the largest single car show in the world. Because Hershey, Pennsylvania has a car show.
It's 1 or 2. I don't remember.
Hershey, Pennsylvania has a car show. It goes on as well. But I think that's technically like 2 or 3 different shows that all happen at the same time.
Back to the 50s completely changes Roseville for an entire week.
Yeah. Oh, it's an entire, yeah.
It takes the entire city over.
Yeah, the entire first ring suburb just on the north side of St. Paul.
Yup.
Like right by there. Yeah, it's insane.
Because I work less than 2 miles from the fairgrounds, and yeah, a week bookending.
Yeah.
It's
No, I think
all I see every other vehicle is a pre-1964.
I really think that MSRA should work with other clubs and make this into more of like a Monterey Car Week sort of thing. Because they have the clout with that right now.
They do, and the publicity company that operates Back to the 50s isn't really into that, which is a little strange. They're actually the same people that run these shows now, the Cars and Caves.
Why would they not want to do that?
I don't know. I think they're just a little bit old school, and I appreciate that because they don't overextend.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, they're really consistent.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
I do
really
like the
important with a show
consistency,
like that, because like you look at a lot of the issues with other big shows, not even just in Minnesota but everywhere.
It's
when they just like change their format drastically, or they try something new and it fails.
Yeah.
And then the show that used to be epic is done.
Yeah, it just kills the show.
I think really maintaining their like kind of old school way of doing it, like faxing in your registration form and stuff like that, which you still have to do.
That's hilarious.
For Back to the 50s. It's I think it's a good thing that they're keeping
those barriers to entry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a Kyle's not going to dig out a fax machine.
Except for that one with the truck.
Yeah, he probably stole his registration from his dad.
So there was this other thing that they do. Speaking of old, is they play like loud ass like 1950s music.
Okay.
So like they're playing La Bamba, which is fine. And then like after probably about 20 minutes of hanging out, they introduce Jason his '63 Fairlane that he just bought. It got a little tiring, and I'm sitting there like, I really just want to turn that off, but it's like hot and like I don't want to get up. And then as I do, I just see this really just like ass mad guy just like stomping across, and he goes in,
this exactly.
unplugs the speaker, takes the prongs for the plug-in and bends them out, and then throws it, and then goes back to his campsite to a full standing ovation from everybody within like 2 blocks of him.
Hey, everyone needs to hear my music.
Well, it's like, I'm sorry, I don't want to have to. I like La Bamba, but I do not like La Bamba at 110 decibels.
Over and over again.
Well, it's not just La Bamba, but they were like, it was just like, oh my god.
I was at the drive-in movies last night, and there were 2 vehicles playing on a loop that like country western rap song that's out there right now.
I hate that song.
Oh, it's so terrible. Just made me want to die.
Yeah, it's Lil Nas X.
Yeah,
the guy did
that one. Yeah. So anyway, I agree. Yeah, but in the case of LEDs in an older car, if they can make it mimic the behavior and look of an incandescent, I'm fine with it.
In any modification, if it's not period correct, if I can't tell, I don't want to know. Yeah, so there's that.
Yep. Like the inside of this 1950s engine could have brand new forged fracture split I-beam connecting rods. I don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't care. Do not list that in your list of modifications. Tell me that your flathead is all factory, and I'll be fine with that. And then when your flathead makes 100
at flathead.
Speaking of flathead, I found the coolest one. objectively.
Yeah, the head is pretty cool on those.
Well, the Ardun cylinder head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of aftermarket heads for those, and that's one of the cooler ones.
Yeah, so there's this head that I discovered for the listeners called an Ardun cylinder head.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is it's a side valve hemispherical cylinder head that you put on your flathead that gives it one exhaust runner for each cylinder, which the flatheads previously did not. The center two
ones
cylinders share. But yeah, no, it's super, super cool to see. Anyway,
It's pretty neat.
you know what the Ardun cylinder head probably does to a flathead clutch, though?
A what?
The Ardun cylinder head with all that extra power?
Yeah.
Probably just burns the hell out of those clutches.
Maybe. If you look at a clutch on like a factory 30s flathead, like it's actually a pretty modern looking thing. I mean, the clutch itself, I guess, doesn't
Well,
really change.
you would know all about clutches after your last 2 weeks, wouldn't you?
Dude, I am so sick of working on clutches. I did the 911 like 2 weeks ago because it was an emergency.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, the 1 Series clutch, like I was talking about last time we were doing the podcast, it started slipping on Cannonball.
Yeah.
I had it in the trunk of the car, so I locked myself in the garage last Saturday.
Yeah.
And I forced myself to do it. And I got, I think, 3 hours into it. Trans was out. Everything was good. I got the new clutch kit, put it up there, and I realized there's no alignment tool with this clutch kit. I'm like, why? Okay, they gave me a new clutch fork.
They give
with
you
the clutch
everything
kit.
except for the alignment tool.
But no alignment tool. So I called, like I sent out an APB on the interwebs, and Brian May texts me. He's like, hey, man, I can bring you one in like 4 hours. I'm like,
was
perfect.
it like the wrong one or something?
Yeah, he brought the
course
wrong
it
one,
was.
but he brought 2, and I was able to lathe the 2 together into a working tool. So I was able to do it. It worked beautifully. I'm going to save it because it worked just perfectly.
So what I've always done, well, whenever I do clutches, it always seems to be on a Honda, and it's just it's a lot lower stakes.
Yeah.
But what I've always done is I take 2 flatheads, I put one up to one spline, I push the other one down, and I twist it back and forth until it goes in, and I slide the tranny on.
I usually, I will take the clutch disc, I'll put it on there, just set it on or whatever, put the pressure plate on, finger tight, the bolts are on the pressure plate.
Yeah.
And I will reach my fingers around in 3 areas to triangulate. So I'll feel the lip between the pressure plate and the clutch disc.
Yeah.
And once it feels about right, even, then you just torque it down, and it's
Yeah.
good. The downside to these is they are self-adjusting pressure plates, so you can't do that.
Perfect.
Because you can torque the pressure plate all the way down, and there's no friction on the clutch. So
So
the alignment tool actually goes in first, then you bolt the pressure plate on, and then you actually have to release this holder that sets the pressure plate while you're holding the alignment tool in to keep the clutch centered.
how is this better than a normal clutch?
It's
why,
not.
Why would a
The
normal
reason
clutch
why
not
these
just work?
exist is because it keeps the take-up point exactly the same throughout the entire life of the clutch. But nobody cares about that.
I don't want that.
I don't want that either. I want to know when my clutch is bad.
Yeah. Like, that's why you have these things.
All right, and the new clutch feels beautiful now. So
It's like, you know why you can hear a car? So if it starts to misfire, you'll know.
Yeah.
That's why they don't have perfectly silent exhaust all the time.
So anyway, yeah, that happened. It worked fine. I did the oil pan gasket on Mr. Wags finally.
Good.
So that thing doesn't leak. That's pretty
good.
neat.
Yeah, that was up there in the air for like ever.
And I've had.
I see it that the 2000 or the 1602 is up in the air as well.
It is, and I've got parts for it. So
Good. So
I'm
it's
hoping
going
to get like
together.
the brakes work soon.
That'd be cool.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. Either it's gonna leak or it won't. I'm hoping for the it won't. But yeah, I'm knocking out a ton of projects. I just took a deposit on another SMG swap like an hour ago, and it's a nightmare. But you know, I'm knocking stuff out. It's fine.
That's
But
good.
The inside of Mr. Wags, the engine looked brand new, so I'm
Perfect.
very excited.
That's good. I'm actually happy to hear that. I've not done anything with my cars lately because I've been super busy. Actually, I put in a catch can on Jana's Accord so I can always drive it around. Because I just know I'm not gonna have time to get to.
I was
doing
gonna say, is the
engine
blow by
swap.
super duper bad?
Oh, it's insane. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's vile.
It does not rev past 5,500 RPM despite how hard you try.
Oh,
Its red line's like 6,200, but I mean still, like that top like fifth of the rev range is just not there. It literally just sputters. Speaking of vehicles that don't rev that high,
yeah.
I may have to hit the pre-war bell because I found the coolest car I've ever seen go up for auction.
Okay.
Well, at least in the last year.
So you already set this up with I know it's pre-war. Oh, you have a
Click
link?
that link
Oh,
that I
okay.
have there. It is a Maybach with a literal Zeppelin engine. in
Okay,
it.
that's pretty cool.
It's 21 liters
Isn't that like the Beast of Turin or whatever?
Kind of,
Didn't
yeah.
that have a 28-liter Zeppelin
that,
motor?
that was a 23-liter. That's a four-cylinder,
yeah.
and that it was a dirigible, but not a Zeppelin.
Oh.
So
Look at this. Blech.
it's actually pretty cool because you have to understand this is 1907. That's pretty good looking for 1907.
It does look pretty modern for 1907.
But anyway, 180 horsepower, 21 liters,
Holy
120 mile per hour top speed,
Dang.
0 to 60 in 8 seconds at 17-second quarter mile
Holy shit.
in 1907.
That's really impressive.
That's insane.
And that's a cross-flow cylinder head and everything.
Yeah, isn't that really cool? That's a bunch of cool stuff happening in 1907.
It looks like a Cummins 6BT.
It's really what it does look like. It looks just like a 6BT. But so if you can have some like idea of what the modern equivalent would be.
Yeah.
All right, imagine a like a Mercedes S-Class coupe,
Okay.
but you take out the V12 or whatever, you put in like an Abrams tank engine,
Ah.
and then you take that Abrams tank engine, make it run a 5-second quarter mile, and make it go like 300 miles an hour, and that's exactly what that is. It's also got just rear drum brakes and a transmission brake.
Yikes. Is
Yeah.
it 1 or 2-wheel drive?
It's 2-wheel drive.
Nice.
But if you look at, you have the seats, which are exactly
They are
just,
smoking room lounge chairs.
they are literally 2 lounge chairs, and then
4.
The third seat in the back, 'cause it's a 3-seater.
I thought it had 2 individuals in the back.
No, it's got 1 in the back.
Oh.
But the solitary individual one is
so
mounted
cool.
up higher.
Well, hi, Stella.
Yeah, there's Stella. The third one's mounted up higher, and that is a
Stadium seating.
total loss oiling system. So the people in the front get covered in oil.
Total loss for people listening means that it doesn't get recovered in a pan. It just
Yeah, there
goes
is
into
no
the
oil
environment.
pan.
Right.
Yeah, it just leaves. The people in the front get covered in oil, and then
Yeah.
the person in the back, who's like has this false sense of security, like they too get covered in oil.
Are they wearing like the leather goggles? at
You
least,
have
or-
to. You
Okay,
literally
cool.
have to. So I just imagine these people like. This guy goes like 1909. This guy takes his girlfriend out for a date and like picks her up in his Maybach, and she goes, "Oh yeah, sexy Maybach." And then like she like hops in the back, and actually no, that'd be a mother-in-law seat. So she has to bring her mother. So the mother hops in the back, and the mother's just
Just I imagine it's boiling lava hot
yeah,
oil
oh yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly, because it just ran through the engine.
Oh, you're right. It is a single seat back there.
So that is actually called a mother-in-law's seat because
I love the oh shit handles
I
that
know,
are
right?
brass and bolted to the side of the seat. Just imagine the hood rat stuff that's gone on in this vehicle.
So if you're wondering what a mother-in-law's seat is, in a 2-seater car, they put in an afterthought third seat for the mother of your girlfriend or whatever.
Just to keep you less handsy or what?
Well, that was the thing is if people saw a 2-seater car, they know what's going to happen. You're a hot dude with a chick in the car. Of course you're going to get all handsy. But for Mother's Day, you're not. So this one's actually a rather civilized mother-in-law's seat because on the Stutz Bearcat,
Yeah.
they just put that literally on the outside of the car. Like it was literally on the outside. It was a fold-out chair.
Oh, was it like a rumble seat?
No, I'm talking like a folding lawn chair
Oh, okay.
that goes directly on the sideboard runner. There's no seatbelt. There's nothing that holds you in on the right side, so you have to hold on for dear life. If he takes a turn that goes left too far, you're going under that wheel because you are sitting directly below the rear wheel.
That sounds poorly.
It was there as a technicality only.
Ah, okay. All right, fair enough.
But
That's-
yeah, mother-in-law's seats are, if you ever want to do some digging for weird automotive
When
stuff.
did that? Okay, so when did 2-seat vehicles stop having a compulsory?
It came about in the late 20s,
Okay,
mid-20s.
all right.
It was a flapper thing that they stopped doing that.
What a great term, flapper.
It was actually, the disappearance of the mother-in-law seat is around the time that women got the vote.
I guess that kind of makes
It is
sense.
actually about that time frame. It's like the mid-20s, I think.
Still, wow, I'm kind of just still jaw dropped at the 8-second 0 to 60. Something that heavy with medieval tire technology, putting that
Yeah,
kind of
that's
power
pretty
down.
insane.
And
Like,
then a 17-second quarter is quick.
yeah. So I mean,
I think
17
of a modern equivalent of like that's probably like a 4-cylinder Camry or something.
It'd be like a 91 Civic. It's as fast as a 91 Civic.
It's not a modern equivalent, right?
Okay, well, A 99 Civic.
Thank you.
Yeah. A Honda Fit.
There.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's as fast as a Honda Fit. But, I mean, like, you have to understand that a Honda Fit, 20 years ago,
Uh-huh.
that car would not have existed, like, when that was made. So, if we think of how fast the EF Civic is, the difference between the first car ever being made and this one coming out, that time frame would be, the Civic would still have 5 years on top of that.
This car was made when my house was built.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
1907.
weird to think about what car technology looked like.
Cars existed for, so this came out in 1907. The first car was made in 1886. So the car has existed for 19 years at this point.
Yeah. So it's a pretty newfangled thing.
When this came out,
Mm-hmm.
the 1886 Benz patented motor wagon was not eligible for collector plates. And this is running 120 miles per hour and going 17 seconds in 8-second 0-60s. That's insane at that level of technology.
Very, very, very fast.
So anyway,
That's like beyond Bugatti Chiron.
yeah, no,
technology for
that
sure.
if the Bugatti Chiron came out in like the 1970s, it's that kind of fast. Now anyway,
That's ridiculous.
speaking of peak technology,
Oh my god, yeah.
in the early 2000s, the BMW Z8 was kind of the peak of BMW technology for their road cars.
It sure was. It came with a Motorola StarTAC cell phone from the
Yes,
factory.
yes, it did.
Which a lot of them actually are missing. Because we're shopping for a Z8 right now.
And you want one with a Motorola StarTAC?
I looked into it because we found one at a dealer
Yeah.
in Naples, Florida.
Okay.
Pretty close to our property down there. You will not believe the list of things that these cars originally came with. It wasn't just like an owner's manual and a cell phone. No, no, no. So I'm going to pull up a list here for the stream.
This
we can
was
go through
kind of
this.
like the BMW kind of Halo car from that
It
time.
was, and
Yeah.
it was designed to be a collectible from the get-go. So it mimics the styling of the 507 from the 50s.
Yep.
And this is the first car BMW guaranteed parts availability for 50 years.
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool. We're already almost halfway through that, which is weird to think about. But this car came with a first aid kit and a black pouch in the trunk,
Okay.
a small roll-up toolkit with white silk gloves, also in the trunk,
Fancy.
a BMW badged battery charger, a trickle charger, in a badged pouch,
Okay.
also in the trunk. It came with a detachable cup holder for the interior, because America.
Pause. 20 years ago,
Yeah.
cup holders were not a regular thing.
Not in German cars.
No. And in a lot of other cars, they were afterthoughts. It wasn't really until the Caravan, it took the Caravan like 15 years to make that like a regular compulsory thing.
Yeah, we talked about this on the podcast
Yeah.
a long time ago, like about what the first car that actually made cup holders a thing.
Yeah.
I think it was a minivan. I want
Yeah,
to
I
say it
thi-
was
I
the
think-
Previa, though.
Yeah, it was like the Previa of the Caravan or
Like,
something.
they got ridiculed for putting in 2 cup holders in this
Yeah.
7-seater van.
Yeah.
And now, like, the Fiat 500's got 5 cup holders in
So,
it.
between the time that cup holders became a regular thing and today,
Yeah.
that's a longer period of time than the existence of the car to that Maybach Zeppelin. Anyway.
Since you brought it back up, I'm doing that. It had a soft-top tonneau cover in a black canvas bag,
Okay.
which is, okay, that makes sense. A seatback windbreaker, so the wind deflector that goes between the 2 back seats, that was in the trunk.
Okay.
It came separately, kind of like a Dodge Demon crate thing, with a removable factory hardtop and a hardtop stand for your garage and a cover for the hardtop.
Like kind of R107.
Yeah, but it came with a rolling stand for it. It came with a bag for the hardtop. It came with a cover for the rear window on the soft top when you put it down. It came with a time port or StarTAC Motorola cell phone. And it came with a front license plate holder, color matched, which was not installed on the car.
So,
separately, it
question-
came with 4 keys,
When did
one of
they-
which was made out of polycarbonate,
Ooh.
one of which was a metal valet key, 2 of which were Z8 badged BMW Diamond keys.
Okay.
And it came with the owner's manual, whatever, and a navigation disc.
Oh my
But
God.
months later, they would email you a coffee table book all about the Z8, a nice big one. A lot of cars are missing this now. It's a $3,000 thing if you can find
Holy
one.
shit.
So,
So-
the car we're looking at's missing it.
The car phone.
Yeah.
2 different phones, the time port or the StarTAC.
StarTAC was more common.
So you want to get one with
Yep.
the time port.
You want a time port.
You want the time port, and then you want the coffee table book.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's actually a top tip.
And the Z8 we're looking at
Carbitrage
missing
top tip.
both of those 2 things.
Get the hell out of there.
But it's at 11,000 miles and it's kind of low on price. so-
Okay, yeah, because it's missing $4,000 worth of crap.
Let me show you. I think people posted pictures of the. Yeah. So there's the time port on the top, and there's the StarTAC at the bottom, I think.
I really like the StarTAC more, but yeah, the time port.
StarTAC
is-
looks much more modern, but yeah, it's fascinating. It was actually a really tough thing to find a full list of this. I actually had to look on an owners group, and it took
I see
really
that.
explicit searches. So that's ridiculous. I feel like that kind of thing hasn't happened since the Z8 until the
You know,
Demon.
you were doing true journalism, because the rule of thumb is for journalists is once you get into page 2 or 3 of Google results, that's when you're really digging deep.
I alter my searches instead of going past page 1 because you can kind of tell what you're gonna. Yeah, you're not gonna
it's
get the
It's
answer.
gonna go downhill quick.
Exactly.
Well, great news, everyone. There
Is it the Dacia Duster?
no? There is now a Formula. There's now a Formula race car powered by a washing machine engine.
Brian, washing machines are electric
Yes,
powered.
you're right. It's an electric motor.
But you said engine.
Shh.
Okay.
But
Oh,
I got
you
a
have a
picture of it.
link. Okay.
Yes, I do. Of course I do. Yeah. This.
Oh, that's a good thumbnail.
Yeah.
Thank you, Japlopnik, for.
Hire. They are a Chinese washing machine.
Yes, they
brand.
are. I had one in college.
And now they have got a race car.
660 watt, which is 0.9 horsepower.
Yep.
Which is pretty damn good for a washing machine. And 33 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, you can tell that Jason Torshinsky wrote this.
Oh wow, that is a small.
It's a very tiny motor.
So it's.
It does motivate the vehicle.
Wow. Okay, so it's originally a 230 volt AC motor, and it's being run on a 12 volt DC battery now.
Yes.
This cannot be fast.
I said it motivates it.
Okay.
Not well.
Why, okay, so why did they do this?
Because they make electric motors for washing machines, and you need to think about it. And now people actually know the name Hire, which they didn't
They
5
knew
minutes ago.
before. They've been to discount appliance stores.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I do want to talk about this is not like a good brand. This is a discount brand doing something awesome.
Yeah, this isn't
I love
a KitchenAid Elite.
Yeah, no,
or,
this is a
a Wolf.
totally normal
Yeah,
one.
this is like I need like
Formula
I'm selling,
Hire.
I'm selling my house and I need to put the cheapest possible functioning appliance in. What do I buy?
Yeah, you buy a Hire. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or you like outfitting an RV kitchen. Hire.
But here,
That-
I bet if you go further in the
Yeah,
video,
let me
they actually
skip
show
in a little bit here.
because I'm not going to watch 4 minutes of them building this thing. I just want to see it be driven around.
I see the motor. There it is. That
It's a
little disc.
very tiny motor.
This is. I still don't understand why they did this. I mean, it must be so slow. 1 horsepower, 33 foot-pounds.
I don't think they actually drove it in this video. That
Wow,
sucks.
that is a dumb video, but it's a cool-looking car.
It's a very cool thing that they built. Well,
Wow.
I just want to say, Nissan, their racing program.
Yeah.
You know what that was started by?
I'm sure you've told me, but I've forgotten.
It was started by a handful of engineers in their spare time,
Mm-hmm.
working out the back with a donor car that they bought with their own money,
Very fine.
and they turned it into a tiny race car. So, if they did that with a car that was effectively an Austin 7,
It's going through my head right now is
Yeah.
Hold Me Closer, Tiny Race Car. Thank you, Elton John. Hold me closer, tiny race car. Ba 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 ba.
but anyway, this could be the start of great things. Because the
Yeah.
first Datsun race car wasn't that great.
I want to see a KitchenAid car.
Yes, this should be a series.
Honestly, if you took them to like Shawano,
Yeah,
it'd be super fun.
yeah. If you put these in like go-karts,
Yep.
like that'd be a really
Even
really
if
good
they're
series.
Big things like that. Like
That'd be really funny.
if that thing's all carbon fiber. I mean, that thing is probably the equivalent of running a healthy lawnmower engine.
Yeah,
That would
That's true.
that
That's
would
a good
still
point.
get it up to like 25, 30 miles an hour maybe.
that's a good point. Yeah,
So
you
that
could
would-
make that.
you could have a lot of fun in
You
that
can have a lot of fun with
with the
30
tight,
horsepower.
intricate. Yeah, it brings out the driver skill.
But anyway, with the first Datsun race car,
Yes.
the first race they ever had, they got their ass kicked. The second race they ever did, they designed a dual overhead cam supercharged cylinder head for the engine using a root style blower that had the same horsepower to weight ratio as the Bugatti Type 35. And they effectively made one of the best race cars in the world out of their garage. So
I do like
think
the
Hire
screw
could,
you stories.
Yeah, I think Hire could do that if they put their minds to it.
Dude, you take the Power Wheels mod mentality and you apply it to your washing machine motor.
Boom, done.
Done.
There you go.
Done.
So anyway, there is that. Thank you, Hire, for making my life that much better.
So instead of electric motors being mounted midship, I want to talk about Gasoline America engines running in the front of vehicles.
Yeehaw, cowboy.
So the Corvette C7,
Okay.
the current Corvette, it finally ceased production. The
Okay.
last one that rolled off the line went immediately to auction because it is being sold as the last front-engine Corvette ever to be produced. I still don't know if we've confirmed that the next one's going to be mid-engine, but it seems like it will be at this point.
You know, a lot of people bought the 1982 Corvette because there wasn't an 83 Corvette, and then there ended up being an 84 Corvette, which is better in every way.
Yeah, the C4 is way better than the last year of the C3. It's not even...
It's not false. That is an objective fact.
So I just brought it up on the screen, this article. Look how much this thing sold for. $2.7 million
There's
for a
so
Corvette
many
Stingray.
other things I would buy with
I think it's actually
$2.7
a
million.
Z06, but yeah.
What
Okay.
what would you buy with $2.7 million?
Retirement?
I would, yes, a clapped out, car, I should say.
Oh. Does it have to be one car? Oh, McLaren F1.
Bugatti Type 35.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's so many other things in the world. I could buy every single variant of every single EF Civic.
But keep in mind, this was a charity auction, so it's probably
Okay, all right,
tax
okay,
deductible
that's
and
fair. Because
yeah.
the first Civic Type R that came to America
Yeah.
was sold for like $3 million on like Brain Trail or something.
How is that as much as a McLaren F1?
Well, it was a charity thing.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, I don't think it was $3 million. It was something ridiculous like that, though.
Well, either way, a podcast of year bygone month or whatever, we gave people the actual release date for the C8, but I don't remember when that is. I think it's in Q3 this year.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a gap right now where they just won't have a Corvette for sale, which I guess is fine. There's probably plenty on dealer lots.
83 was a great year.
God damn it, Ryan.
So.
But anyway, that sold for a ton of money. I'll be curious to see what the C8 is, but it's a great form factor. I mean, trying to buy a performance car that outdoes that thing anywhere near that price bracket's just not going to happen. So.
Well, for $2.7 million, I think of a lot of cars that
Thank you, Brian, but I'm
outperform
talking like 60 grand. You know what a base C7 costs if you go and buy one?
No, that's true. That is true. That's a good point. Well,
And,
anyway,
yeah. What
we-
did we learn this week?
this week,
Yeah.
I learned that it's actually really easy to rewire a donk.
Oh God. What? Okay. Well, I suppose you don't need like jacks or anything.
Oh, yeah, I had a lift to help me anyway.
Oh.
I had this guy brought in. I was helping a guy out. We had a slow week at work, and I helped this guy out with a donk. And it was a 95 Caprice with the LT1
Oh, it's a
swap.
bubble. Hell yeah.
It's a 95 Caprice, the LT1 swap.
So I had the Monte Carlo or Impala SS motor.
Yeah, I was kind of confused, though, because I was like, dude, as bring down the price on, like, just how much an LT1 swap, like, feasibly has to cost.
Yeah.
Versus how much a LS swap could be done for.
Oh,
and, like,
dude.
the LS is actually cheaper.
Yeah. Especially with all the mounts that are available for the B bodies right off the shelf.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just you can get. I looked it up. It's about $1,500 in parts.
I love the bubbles that have like LS9s in them.
Yeah.
Just like
Well, I was explaining to
ridiculously
to
fast
some of my
ones.
coworkers why I thought the car was so cool. I showed them this video of this dude with a '73 Glasshouse Impala, which is they just have tons of windows. But it's a '73 Glasshouse, and the owner had 28-inch gold wheels on it, and he annihilated a Vortex supercharged Corvette ZR1.
Oh my God.
Just like didn't like beat him, but like the Corvette got him off the line. But this
Oh,
dude
yeah, 'cause
like
the moment of inertia on those wheels.
yeah, but
is
this guy
ridiculous.
back halved him by like 2 car lengths.
Just freight train.
Yeah. Oh, it was hilarious. Yeah. So I actually like donks a lot. But anyway.
Me too. I'd love
this-
to go to that donk meet in Atlanta.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. But anyway, this guy had this LED underkit that was wired up, and it was like a lot of duct tape was involved.
Ooh.
He did it in his driveway, and then
Yeah.
it was beginning to rain. He's like, shit, I got exposed wiring. I need to fix this. So he just threw it all together real quick.
It's worse than soldering and worse than butt connectors.
Yeah. So anyway, I ran it through the chassis rails and everything. Like literally redid it from front to back and did that for him. But it was super easy. I got all it done in like an hour and a half. I just have to take.
There is something to be said with a lifted body on frame vehicle.
Oh, it's
I mean,
so
the
nice because
simplicity
all
is
holes
just-
in the chassis
Yep,
and everything.
just
It's great. And yeah, all I have to do is I just need to actually.
Was it a C channel or a fully boxed frame?
It was a C channel, yeah.
Okay.
So all I have to do really is I just have to reapply the double side tape on the LED strips, and that's it. That's all I've left. But it went super well.
That's so weird. Donk and Underglow at Good Karma.
Yeah, it was really weird, but it's what happens when I'm in charge of a phone.
Sure.
But yeah, that's what I learned is that Donk's really easy to rewire because everything's right there, body on frame. I still love them.
Fair enough.
So,
I also love donks. So
what did you learn?
I learned this week that I need a Fiat 124. I actually
Yeah.
test drove one yesterday for the first time, and now I really it moved up my need for this car substantially. It is an excellent car.
Me and Jan are be going to JCCS this September, and yeah, there's a lot of Fiat 124s for rental and on Turo,
Dude, they're so great.
yeah, I think I might find one because like the cheapest manual car you can get that's not a PT Cruiser is a 124 on Turo. So
They're so comfortable. The seats are amazing. I mean, this Abarth, I drove at 1,000 miles on it.
yeah,
And it was like, it felt like the seat had been glove fit to my butt for like 100,000 miles.
oh my god, I
it
can't.
was-
I think I'm
was
gonna have to
great.
drive one.
So there you go.
Well, there you go. The Fiat 124 is a wonderful car. Donks are easy to rewire, and there's a Maybach Zeppelin in the world going up for auction.
Oh, no.
Oh, I should note that also is being sold at Goodwood Festival Speed.
Oh,
I
man.
forgot to note that.
I was at a happy hour down here yesterday, and I was hearing about one of my buddies down here went to Isle of Man for the TT, and another Gene, 3 garages down, he's going to Festival Speed this year.
I always watch the live stream every 4th of July. So
I don't know if I had to pick between the Revival and the Festival Speed, which one I'd go to, but I want to do both.
I would, if I had to choose one, I would say the Festival Speed first.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Revival's probably more fun. It's just
Yeah.
like the Revival's like the Hawk, like down here.
Right.
Whereas
Which,
Festival Speed is
Incidentally,
like
that is soon.
yeah. Whereas Festival Speed is like Monterey Car Week. Like you have to go to. It's just one of those like it's a bucket list thing.
Hawk is the 18th through 21st of July.
I think we should probably go there and do a live stream.
It is the
Not live
day
stream,
after Pasaluna.
Weekend?
Pasaluna's on a Thursday, so we
Okay.
won't be
Oh,
doing
it's a Friday?
Laserdisc, and
Crap.
it's Friday through Sunday. But I'm only going to go Saturday through Sunday. I think maybe Friday evening through Sunday.
I'd
I don't
say if we do Saturday through Sunday, I'd be into it. Because I just
I-
need to work, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to leave during prime time, so I would try to just go there for like I want to do the whole Saturday, but
Yeah.
like bookend it with maybe a little bit of Friday and then maybe a little bit of Sunday. But
Maybe you leave like after work or something, and
maybe we'll do Carbitrage from the Hawk because that show,
yeah, we absolutely have to.
it's just epic. So
Well-
that's happening. Anyway, thank you all for listening.
Yes,
we will
we-
try to push out an episode again midweek.
Monday, maybe.
but
Hopefully, that'd be good.
Worst case, we'll see you next week. Thank you
Absolutely.
as always for listening. We greatly appreciate it, and yeah, we'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye bye.